What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be doing another unboxing. To be honest, this is probably the end of my Roja buying experience or extravaganza. This is probably going to be the last Roja haul or just any fragrance from Roja I buy for right now. These are pretty much the last two I had some kind of interest in. One of them I kind of did, not too much, but from my list of Roja fragrances, these are the last two that I crossed off. So it'd probably be a while until you see me purchase another Roja. Kind of depends on maybe there's something else that intrigues me at some point. I say that now, and then you probably might see a new Roja coming in like 2 weeks later. But yeah, realistically, like I said, from the Rojas I had on my list, I do have a fragrance list. These were the last two I crossed off. And one of them wasn't even on the list. So, Elysium Noir, it's not on the list for me. So I've smelled it a few times. I don't really care about it. So, don't think about that one. I did get this from the Perfume Spot. They are, I believe I do have an affiliate link with them in the description. I'm not too sure though. They normally always send these tremendous Parfum paper slip things with fragrances. But you know what? Let's go ahead and smell these. So this one, I think they have different ones now. This one is called, this is for women. I can't see what it's called. Parfum de Vitali. That one smells kind of like Santal 33. Then there is Parfum de Attraction. And it says something about strawberries. That's going to be a little bit more feminine leaning fragrance, obviously. This one is the male version of Parfum de Vitali, which is, honestly, smells the same to me. And Parfum de Attraction. Something in there that that was useless. Few seconds. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the two fragrances I got in today. So since I talked about an Elysium, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this one. This is gonna be Elysium Eau Intense, which was a hated Elysium fragrance. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is the one that was not on my list to purchase. I've smelled it a few times, and honestly, if you ask me, I don't remember. I remember enjoying it, but I don't really remember what it smells like too much. Like, I remember smelling it a long time ago, and actually enjoying it. I remember smelling it when I was in New York City and when I was in Jersey. But those times I smelled it, I don't remember what it smells like. So here it is. Here's Elysium Eau Intense. Here is the presentation. Here's the bottle. I'll go ahead and put that here. And let's go ahead and get the sprayed on skin. So Elysium is a fragrance that I actually enjoy. I had a clone of it, Imperium by Fragrance World. There's a pretty decent clone of it. And I ended up, I knew I was gonna get the real thing at some point. Ended up pulling the trigger on it pretty recently, I think it was this year that I purchased it. This smells kind of similar, but does have a bit more, maybe lemon. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the notes right now, but yeah, I would say more lemon in the opening. Initial blast kind of reminded me of Elysium with a little bit more lemon. I don't know why this would be hated so much. It kind of smells like a mix of Dior Homme Cologne with Elysium. It's not the fragrance I remember smelling. I don't know what I remember smelling, honestly. Like I said, I don't really remember what it smelled like, but I don't remember it being like this. But yeah, let's go ahead and search up the notes. I could be right about this, as some people compare it to what's it called? Dior Homme Cologne. I'm not sure. The Perfume Spot seems to have it at the cheapest right now at $158.62. Joma Shop has it at $170. And Fragrance Net has it at $165. So right now, the Perfume Spot, if you're interested, has it at the cheapest price. And yeah, let's go ahead and pull up the notes. So the notes are grapefruit, rhubarb, lime, bergamot, musk, artemisia, lavender, and thyme on the top. Middle notes are black currant, apple, apple blossom, lily of the valley, jasmine, tuberose, rose de mai. And then base notes are juniper berry, vetiver, musk, dry wood, violet leaf, ambergris, galbanum, cedarwood, black pepper, leather, vanilla, labdanum, benzoin, cypre oil, or nagarmotha. People say this smells similar to Elysium Pour Homme, Shiaka's Snow Cartilage. I'm assuming that's going to be a clone of either Elysium or Elysium Eau Intense. Nobody says it smells like Dior Homme Cologne. So I guess I'm standing alone on that one. The only other fragrance I recognize is Gentle Fleur Silver. Which I can kind of see that. I can't say that like 100%, but I could kind of see where they're coming from with that one. Pretty good. Does smell like, for me, it smells like a mix of Elysium mixed with Dior Homme Cologne, kind of like that mix. It's Elysium with the mix of like the freshness, like kind of like not white linen, but more like, people call it lemonade, which is so dumb, but more fresh, citrusy, more like that citrus. I guess it has to be like that lime grapefruit combo that gives it that like sparkle. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good fragrance. Happy to have it in the collection. Freshie wise, this is a pretty good freshie. No complaints. And then for the big guns, it's going to be Apex Parfum. Let me go ahead and make some space over here. All right, so you know what? Let's make this nice. So Apex Parfum would be the other one. I used to own Apex. I smelled Apex Parfum a few times. Or Parfum, I'm sorry. Apex Parfum. And I enjoyed the Parfum more than Apex, or what I remember about from Apex. Parfum Cologne. So here we are. Here's the box. Here's the side. Here's the other side. Pretty cool design on the sides. And now we figure out how to open this one. Oh, this is a sleeve. Of course it is. I think. I might just break it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. Psych. As we struggle to open this. All right, guys, just give me a second. There we go. So here it is. Honestly, I have no idea how it opens. So I'm just gonna, oh, there it is. They always have some kind of weird opening to the box. So as you can see, I don't really watch any reviews about these fragrances. This is the opening. That's a pretty cool design. Only thing is the bottle slipped out of the, it's supposed to be in there. So now that it's actually in there, you can see the, pretty cool. I'm just stuck on here. Black bottle. I used to have a clone of, I think it was Apex Parfum Cologne. It was Vertex by Fragrance World. And again, another good fragrance. Another good clone I had. That was a clone I enjoyed. And then let's go ahead and talk about this one. So, from what I remember of the Parfum Cologne compared to this one, the Parfum Cologne I actually believe I sold to Neil. This one definitely comes off smoother, less leathery, a little bit more, I don't know if that's like a citrus. This one I would say is, it walks the line of like, of course, you're going to always compare it to Sauvage Elixir. You're going to compare it to Aventus Absolute or Absolute Aventus. But this one is good enough for me to own those two fragrances and still wear this one when I feel like wearing that kind of darker DNA, which is a thing I didn't see with the Parfum Cologne. With the Parfum Cologne, I didn't see myself reaching for it since, in my opinion, Sauvage Elixir and Absolute Aventus were both way better. This one, from the times I've smelled it, I've enjoyed how it smells. I've had it on skin. It's a smoother fragrance. I haven't had it on skin for too long, especially because it was like I was just testing out a lot of other things. So I don't remember too much of like the dry down and stuff like that, but it is a fragrance that I remember putting it on my list. This one is the one that was on the list. Put it on my list of pretty much Roja fragrances. I pretty much just like separate them by brand. Like the Roja fragrances I'm interested in, and I kind of just go through a house sometimes. So let's go ahead and pull up the notes. Apex Parfum Roja. So right now it seems like, oh, the perfume spot has it for $215. Factory is actually better priced right now at $209. Well, I should have done that sooner. And Joma Shop is at $213 with a discount. So it kind of works if you're purchasing them both at the same time. Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the notes of this fragrance. It is going to be top notes: bergamot, mandarin orange, lemon. Middle notes: jasmine, pineapple, labdanum. Base notes: cypress, oak moss, balsam fir, patchouli, leather, tobacco, musk, rum, juniper berries, incense, cashmere wood, ambergris, galbanum, elemi, benzoin, labdanum, amber, and sandalwood. And people say this fragrance smells like the Apex Parfum Cologne, Italian Cypress by Tom Ford, Sauvage Elixir, Absolute Aventus, and Floris 1962. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to explore it a little bit, because if that floral, this might be a fragrance I might be interested in. Floris 1962. Let me know if you guys know about this fragrance at all. I am going to search it up to see where this is in stock. Floris 1962. I might be interested in potentially smelling this. Someone is selling it for $700. I guess this was discontinued. Floris 1962. Was it discontinued? Well, never mind. I thought this was going to be like one of those fragrances that's kind of cheap. But cannot be found. So, well, there goes that. I remember what I said. Because I remember these florist fragrances are like pretty cheap. I found them, I believe, well, this one was like $62 for 100 ml on Joma Shop, but it was a different one from the brand. I don't really know where you can find these florist fragrances. I have no idea where you can find these florist fragrances at. I only see it on Amazon, eBay, Joma Shop. That's what it says on Fragrantica.